folks, the scoring game is so important to us in terms of lowering our handicaps and shooting better scores when we play competitive golf. The putting stroke there's so many variations out there right now, but what we need is kind of a fundamental foundation to start from in terms of finding our particular putting stroke. Clint's got a few thoughts about the putting stroke.
Okay, Mike, thanks. You're absolutely right. You know, if you look at all the putting strokes you see, there's some very common denominators about them, and the one that we hear the most about is, you know, your putting stroke needs to be in a pendulum form. Well, that's all fine and good, but the shape of that pendulum is what I want to talk to you about here today. Is that, you know, if you take the putter and you swing it back and forth from the very top, you get kind of a wide look as far as the stroke of the pendulum is concerned. What we want to be able to do is get as wide a swing arc as we can, and you notice if I swing this back and forth, and if I shorten it, the arc gets a little steeper. So if we take that as fact, then if I stand here and I take the putter and I move it just with my hands like this, I'm still getting a pendulum form, okay? But it's a very steep one. If you can see, it's up and down off the ground. So what I want to be able to do is find a way that I can maintain that pendulum movement but make that swing arc as wide as I can. Not necessarily long, but wide, where the putter stays very close to the ground all the way through. And the way we do that is to try to make sure that we can start the putter motion from our shoulders here and not from our hands. We've all heard this where we want to putt with our shoulders back and through, and that's a very simple fact. It's a very good basic stroke. So what it will look like is I'm going to set up like we've done before. Hands are very calm and easy on the putter. And I'm going to move from my shoulders. Most commonly we feel maybe a motion from right here in our up just below the base of our neck to where we move the putter back and through this way. Okay, using our shoulders, not our hands. We see a lot of this right hand motion in our putting strokes. So what we want to be able to do is to move the putter back and through. And one of the very simple drills that we use for this, we've called it the Y drill. If you look, the putter and my arms form the letter Y. If we want to get a wide swing arc, we can swing the entire Y and it never breaks down back and through this way as you see. If I use my hands too much, I get a little bit more swinging just the tail of the Y. Okay? So a very simple drill. Get in the mirror where you can see this happening and try to make sure you can maintain that Y drill all the way through impact and towards the hole. Okay? So if we get that done, I think you'll find you'll get a much better stroke on the ball, more consistent roll, and most importantly, it's going to help us maintain some control of speed as we move on through and talk about that next.